Hello, I'm Andrew. Today I want to show you how to use a Pavoni machine. I've had one now for about a year. It was quite a hard decision to move towards one because there's a lot of videos and instructions and it looks really complex. But I want to show you how to use it easily and how to get a successful extraction from your machine. So here's the machine. It's a Pavoni Professional. They call these the pre-2000 models. Meant to be better than the post. They're quite simple. There's a boiler, it's made out of brass. It looks amazing, amazing on your counter, and it's quite simple to use. It looks complex, but it's actually simple to use. So you typically fill it up with water, turn the machine on, it's boiling, and this is where all the business happens, right? Your extraction handle and your steamer here. So that's all there is. Everything else basically is just to hold the hot water and maintain the pressure. All right, so one of the things that you'll find with this machine is that the water amount that comes into the machine doesn't change, it's the same. The thing that affects the coffee that I found is the grind. So make sure you get fresh coffee beans. Beans, get yourself some decent beans. You need a grinder, so you don't have a grinder with this. So you can go buy a really expensive grinder. They're up to $900. They're not cheap, some of those Pavoni ones. But I just bought myself one of these knock grinders. I actually bought it from someone selling it second hand. It's very simple. So the way these grinders work, they're hand grinders. Get yourself a good one. This is actually called the Field Grind by Knock. You put your beans inside your grinder. Adjust your grind, and pretty much the grind's going here, which we'll be using in a minute. So grind your coffee, hey, if you get this machine, don't think you're going to be jumping out of bed and just turning it on and making your espresso within a minute. If you want that, forget it. Don't even look at it. Go buy yourself an espresso machine or any other machine which is automatic. This needs a bit of patience, but the reward of a great coffee is what you get. So, grind your coffee, okay, it doesn't take long. Have the machine turned on because it can take close to 8 minutes to reach to a temperature. And you'll see here there's a pressure gauge. This shows you the pressure that's inside the machine. There's a power button here which basically turns it on and off. I've actually got an issue with this machine right now, which I'm addressing, which is the pressure stat inside the machine, which isn't stopping the boil. I've got a solution to that. It's a $30 piece, which I've picked up from the coffee shop, which I'll install myself. They're very easy to do. But you can actually do everything with the machine. I bought myself a kit to change all the seals. This can get done, say, once a year. And a couple of spanners, and you can open it up, and it's very simple. There's heaps of videos on how to do it. So, tip number 1, fresh coffee beans. Tip number 2, they say for this machine here, you need 14 grams of coffee. Now, I could just fill this up and do it by eye, but just to show you how it gets done, you can get yourself a little scale. So this one here is showing us this coffee, so we're at 2. For this one here, I think this is about a 50 or 49 to 50 basket. Look, you don't have to be 100% perfect, but push it down. We're going to tamper this as well in a sec. This is the part my wife hates because she sees the grinds, but get yourself a little mat. All right, that's pretty close. We'll stick to that. Now, if you did have a proper expensive grinder, it would do a single dose grind and you won't have any grinds over your bench. This is what you get with a machine. It looks cheap, and it is cheap, but it doesn't even actually fit the basket properly. Now, the lady at the coffee shop, the Pavoni expert, told me what you can do with this is just put it in and move it around the edges with your thumb, okay, and or get yourself another tamper which you can push in. So you can see the level of the grind, you know, have a little ridge hanging there. Basically the lady told me have it to this level here. So we'll put the tampered, okay, not super hard. You then put in your head and we start. Actually, before we start, what I'll do, I like doing this, is you can do it straight into your little tray there, but I'll just give it a little extraction to clean the water and actually add some hot water in there. And now we're ready to go. So all you do is pull the lever up and make sure you hold the machine down with your hand and you just wait. And what's happening now is the water's coming through and getting pushed through that grind, and we should start seeing some trickles happening in a second. If they don't, it doesn't matter, because as soon as I start pushing the handle we'll get it, but typically they say you see the trickles come out depending on your grind, the pressure. Okay, I'm not that patient to wait anymore, but here we go. We'll extract it now anyway. Okay, so you just pull the lever down and you'll see it's not, you do need to put a bit of effort into it, but you know, it's nothing too complicated. You just pull the handle down at a nice even pressure and you see the coffee pouring into your glass. I've got a clear glass cup there which allows us to see the crema. And that's it. Can't push down anymore. Everything's controlled with the lever. So the only thing that varies is the grind. If the grind's too fine, it's going to trickle down really fast. If it's too coarse, you won't be able to push the lever down at all. So get it at the right consistency, 14 grams. And here is our beautiful espresso. Look at that. Now, step 2. You've made your coffee, you now want a bit of milk in your coffee. So just get yourself a jug. You can use any type of jug and get rid of a bit of the steam to begin with. Now, it's a bit noisy, but try to get that swirl happening inside your cup. And there are baristas out there that, you know, and people that go crazy about how the milk is and how you get it stretched, but the machine does work. I actually changed the tip on this to a single hole from the 3 hole that's provided. Usually you just feel the bottom and you'll see when it becomes silky. Okay. Now this machine, the inventor was from Italy. So Pavoni, back in 1905, I think it is, when he created his machine. In Milan actually, so Desiderio Pavoni. Full brass, beautiful looking machine, and I think we're ready with the milk. Turn off the steam. So that's it, open, close steam. And then, depending on how fussy you are. Now I've been using this machine for over a year. I've actually been using machines. I just can't get coffee art done, so excuse the thing. But typically what people say is give it a bit of a bang, get rid of those bubbles, and there you go, a beautiful apple. So that's it. That's the La Pavoni. Important that you give it a clean when you finish your steaming. A little bit of care, you know, any splash, give it a clean. Make sure the machine's dry. I just turn on the steamer for a second to get rid of any milk that's inside the tip. Do not touch it, very hot. So that's lesson number one. Never open this. Extremely hot. This is only to be open when the machine is cold and you want to fill it up with water. You've actually got a water gauge here on the left which shows you where you are, and this would last for quite a few shots. So let me taste this coffee. It's beautiful. So don't be afraid, invest in one. It's actually quite fun. It looks great on in your kitchen bench, and the flavor that you get is amazing. Thank you.